So then the next piece of it, I have just like a quick little run through of my pathways. I'm new to using Google Slides as pathways. I've used a lot of Google Slides, but this is going to be my upcoming unit actually is my first unit where I've used Google Slides. I've always used Google Docs. So my kids are extremely used to logging into their Google Classroom and seeing their pathways up at the top and then where they turn in their work down below. So, and even like which standard I'm grading through different pieces of it. So this is an example though of one of my pathways for 6th grade. So they what they do is they see their standards up at the top, their suggested pace.
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm listening to this thing. I'm so far behind the 8 ball. What do you even mean by a pathway? I just had to create a Google Classroom this week. Like you guys are so far ahead of me. I feel like a kid in a medical thing. I don't even know the damn terms. What do you mean by pathway?
Okay.
Actually, how about this? You do your thing, and I'm just going to need a lot of help. I have no friggin' clue what you're talking about.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
Uploading video, like that.
Definitely ask along the way. If you get confused. So,
this presentation being taped, right? Like, so I can access this somehow.
Yeah, so I'm recording it and I'm going to kind of break it up into the different pieces. And what I'm actually going to do is use this slideshow to put, and you can like click to go to whatever slide. And so you'll see the Vizia part of this up here.
All right. This is very frustrating for me because, as I said, I don't have a Google Classroom. I just finally set that thing up.
Gotcha.
But so, and anyway, is anyone else like me, or is everyone so technologically far ahead that you're listening to this and be like, oh yeah, sure, pathway?
Well, Thomas, I was where you were, right when we started going into this, and I've just been watching a lot of tutorials and stopping and starting, and now I've pretty much got Google Classroom figured out. So you can do this. Just baby steps. Don't be hard on yourself. It's okay.
It's just really frustrating because it's like the same thing with, you're just talking about stuff that I don't even know, just don't even know. All right, there's my 2 cents.
No, you're fine. I can kind of explain a little bit about what's going on along the way too.
Don't worry about it. It's going to take up time. I actually have one of the ladies at school. I'm just going to have to lean on her pretty good to figure out what's going on.
Gotcha. Well, definitely, if you have any questions, like what is a pathway along the way, definitely ask, and I will. I'll do my best.
I don't want to take up too much time with the meeting because everyone else is far ahead of me.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
All right.
Okay, so just the kind of short of a pathway. What a pathway is just kind of different ways to get the material for the kids. So whenever I first started using pathways, I only had 2. So there was like a teacher guided pathway, and that was with kids who sat with me and we did like small group instruction. And then there was a self-paced pathway, which was kind of that flipped classroom idea where they use the videos like through Vizia to go through and kind of work through on their own. And it's taken a couple of years for me to develop to this point here, where I have their standards, their suggested pace, and their focus skill. And right here, it just kind of tells them that they have to choose one option in each task. So in this set of pathways here, there's 7 tasks that they have to complete to get through to the end of the unit. So they all take a pre-assessment at the very beginning and a post-assessment at the end. That part's the same through all of my units. But then they have different ways of getting the information. So like for task 2, for this how to sketch and learn to see things differently, they can watch those videos through Vizia. They can go through a set of notes here. This pathway here, the orange pathway, is teacher guided. So they work with me. It makes my groups very small and lets those that are self-paced work. It really cuts down on like distractions and behaviors in the classroom. And then this pathway here is for group work. So those kids who like to do group work. So it just kind of walks them through those 7 different tasks of this unit. And like I said, when I started this, it was like 2 pathways. That was it because I couldn't even think beyond, doing anything more than that. So it's taken a while to develop these, but as the kids go through, they just click on the different assignments. And then, like I said, when they watch these videos here and they do their notes and do their sketches, it tells them that you'll submit a photo of your sketch to Task 2 in Google Classroom. So that's when they come back over. Sorry.
Do they get to choose which pathway and then they stick with it the whole way for all 7 tasks or however many?
For this particular unit, they did not have to. You can choose a different pathway for each task in this unit. So like if they started with videos and they were like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm going teacher guided. So then they could jump down here to teacher guided. For my most recent pathways while we're out, what they've been doing since we got out is they have to stay on the pathway just because they chose a medium. And so
Okay.
that first pathway was graphite, oil pastels, dry pastels, and digital. So they had to stay on that pathway because it wouldn't make sense for them to jump around if they learned a little bit more about graphite to then jump to the practice in pastels.
How did they know that? Okay, well, I see it in yellow. Okay. I'm with you.
they always look right there so that they
Okay.
know which way they're going with it. So yeah, this was their most recent pathway here. So that's just kind of like a brief little view into my pathways. If you had more questions about that or wanted me to kind of help you, or if you want me to share my pathways with you, whatever you guys need at this point, I'm here to help and here to help you like get set up with online learning, since that's a lot of what we do already. So then using Google Slides, a lot of my teammates use Google Slides for pathways. I am kind of the newbie at using Google Slides for pathways, but this is what they're going to be doing when they come back from spring break. So, and I did not make this beautiful background and all this stuff. You can find Google Slide templates if you type in Google search just free Google Slide templates. It'll pull up all these beautiful already pre-made Google Slides. So anyway, I go through just standards covered in this unit. They can click there to see their standards. Our pathways, a terminology familiar to your school or middle school term. So pathways, I guess, are kind of a, I don't know, I guess they're a middle school term. I don't know though, for sure. I know we use it a lot, and all the PDs that we attend, they talk about doing pathways and stuff, but I'm not sure how widely used it is yet. So it just gives them those different paths though to learning. So in their next slide, they see their standards, and then they get to their overview. So there's 4 parts to this. Regular teachers use a lot. Yeah, regular education teachers do use it a lot. And we work so closely. We're very interdisciplinary connected at our school. So we work so closely. Like a lot of what they're doing in this one is going to earn them ELA credit and social studies credit. Yeah, playlists are another term that kind of mean the same thing. So it shows them these 4 different parts. So if they want to just go ahead and jump to their research part, they would click there, and it would take them to this research slide where it kind of gives them what they're doing. And then even within that is linked their actual Google Classroom assignment, so they know where to go to turn things in. So that's kind of why I like this. I've been linking in where they actually go to do their work. So this one is not fully put together yet.
So what is the advantage of the slides? Just one over the other?
I like the slides because I can put more information in one area for them. So like with the Google Docs, what I've had to do with those just to keep it not too much on one screen is to let them click here to go to like another Google Doc where it lists out the actual assignment. So that's where they get their information about the assignment. Whereas with Google Slides, it's all right here in one spot. So they're still clicking, but they're just clicking to different slides. So that's kind of
if I'm in Google Classroom and I make a Google Slides lesson, so when I put the lesson into the assignment, I'm going to be putting in, instead of a doc, just a slide, right?
Right. So what I do is I list my pathways as material. So whenever you go to create an assignment, You can click
Right.
an assignment, quiz assignment, question, material. So my pathways are always material because they can't edit that, and they just know that that's like that little bookmark looking thing is where they find their pathways. So this one isn't completely live for them yet, but right here is where they see there. So they'll click here, and it's always at the top of my different topics. So my units I set up, you can separate those out by creating a topic.
Right.
And it'll give you those big headings like this.
Right.
So just for those of you who haven't realized that yet, that's like a topic. So, and then whenever you create an assignment, it will let you choose which topic you want it to go into. So if I was doing something else for my unit 5 right now, I would click here and put unit 5.
So can I speak to that for a second for elementary people?
Mhm.
I made my topics first grade, kindergarten, first grade, second
Mhm.
grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade. Then I'm putting my assignments under each grade level.
Mhm.
That seemed like a way to organize it that would make sense for a user, Amber?
Yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure. And what you can do as well, I don't know like if all of your kids are in one Google Classroom or not, but you can kind of, whenever you create an assignment, you can choose which students have access to the different topics and assignments. So a lot of times when I'm doing some personalization, I'll click out, some of the kids and only assign it to the kids who are ready for whatever the assignment is.
Well, at elementary, we're not there yet. So every first grader has access to,
Gotcha.
Everybody has access to my classroom. If they choose to do it.
Right. I got you. That whole choose to do it thing. Okay. So that's just kind of, again, a brief little look into using these. So like during those different parts, they can always just click here to go to whichever slide it is. So like here's their learning a new technique. This is where they would go through learn, and practice. And then when they finish, they would submit a photo of their notes and their practice, whatever their practice was, in Google Classroom. So that's just kind of the brief of that. This is not totally fleshed out yet, but it's getting there.